I saw police cars going left and right, even behind me. I saw a helicopter above me. I saw, I would say, 5 or 6 ambulances within 2 to 3 minutes of the shooting.
Just a horrific night in Washington, D.C. As we speak, 2 National Guard soldiers ambushed in a targeted shooting are hospitalized in critical condition. Both are from West Virginia. The suspect was just identified and is in custody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Thuman, and just into our newsroom, one of the soldiers has now been identified as Andrew Wolf. His high school posted this message on social media saying, quote, "Our Applemen community is deeply saddened. Andrew is currently in critical condition and undergoing surgery." The shooting happening just blocks away from the White House on the eve of Thanksgiving. We have some new video showing the chaotic moments right afterward. Just take a listen. All right, as you just saw there, traffic along the National Mall at a standstill this afternoon as a U.S. Park Police helicopter took off from the Washington Monument, rushing one of those soldiers to a hospital. And just moments beforehand, this dramatic scene playing out on a sidewalk. We have blurred out the guard member lying on the ground, but in this video, you can clearly see other law enforcement immediately giving CPR to keep them alive. This was right next to a bus stop, a bullet shattering that window. President Trump reacting on camera now for the first time.
This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity.
All right, again, this shooting was right near the White House at 17th and I Streets in Northwest, and also close by Farragut and Lafayette Squares, as well as the Smithsonian's Renwick Gallery, not to mention numerous hotels and restaurants in that area, densely packed with people for the holiday. All afternoon, 7 News on Your Side has brought you extensive live team coverage, and that continues right now at 11 o'clock. Tom Rousey is at the alert desk with those new details on the suspect, and Rebecca Turco is at the hospital where both soldiers are being treated. But first, let's start with Christian Flores. Christian, we just learned that fellow National Guard members on the scene shot back at the suspect. You were our first reporter on this scene, which is still very busy at this late hour. So take us through what happened today.
Well, as you can imagine, the law enforcement response earlier this afternoon, absolutely massive. And several hours later, that really still is the case. This whole area is still cordoned off, and we're now seeing a fire truck arrive to the scene. You still see some investigators out here, obviously picking up some evidence, really taking a look and trying to make sure they're not missing anything for this investigation. And just a few blocks from the White House, near the east entrance to Farragut West Metro stop, National Guard, MPD, Metro PD, Secret Service, Park Police, all those agencies and more responding to this terrible act of violence here. They're blocking off several city blocks around the scene to preserve any potential evidence. And here's what we know now about the sequence of events leading up to this shooting. According to detectives, a man just walked around the corner, raised his arm, and shot at the National Guard troops. He hit 2 of them, a man and a woman. Both are fighting for their lives in the hospital with critical injuries. Other troops and D.C. police officers were nearby and managed to quickly subdue the suspect. He was shot, but we do not know who shot him or if he even shot himself. Hours after the attack, FBI Director Kash Patel, Mayor Muriel Bowser, and MPD's Executive Assistant Chief briefed us on what happened at about 2:15 this afternoon after the suspect turned the corner and approached the Guard members.
We have no other suspects. We have reviewed video from the area. It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised a firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard, and he was quickly taken into custody by other National Guard members and law enforcement members.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today. There was not any further injury and any further shootings.
We join with the FBI director in ensuring that MPD investigates, the U.S. attorney prosecutes this case to the fullest extent of the law.
Style and substance in the GMC Sierra. Work at 0% APR plus 3,100 total value on the Sierra 1500 model. Each Black Friday, the mountain stirs from its slumber, and the strongest among us.
And we do want to make note that earlier this evening we saw tow trucks bring in some floodlights out here so detectives could more effectively take a look at the scene. I mentioned the fire truck earlier, and in my experience covering crime scenes here in DC, typically they bring the fire trucks in to clean and clear the scene. So it does appear that we're getting closer to maybe this whole area opening up sometime, maybe between now and the morning. Scott?
Yeah, Christian, you've been at that scene for about 8 hours now. In that time, you've also been able to speak to some people who witnessed the crime as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, obviously around 2 o'clock on the afternoon before Thanksgiving, you're not going to see as much vehicle traffic around here. A lot of people are going to be hitting the highways to get to their Thanksgiving plans, but there certainly were still a lot of people out here on foot. We saw so many onlookers. Keep in mind, we're just on the other side of the White House. Now, the White House is obviously going to be a top tourist destination for anyone visiting DC, and not to mention there are a lot of restaurants out here. We spoke to a witness who was inside one of those restaurants when this all happened.
Many people were walking down saying service members were just shot, National Guardsmen. So there was a concern. Our restaurant was put on lockdown. When they say active shooter, you think of the same things with high schools and elementary schools, that when that happens, you have to be concerned about who's out there. Not since the Oklahoma bombing have we seen a heightened sense of security, and then with 9/11, this is pretty much equal to that level.
Absolutely terrifying moments, and I can attest this is one of the larger crime scenes I've ever been to. Obviously, we're going to keep our eye out for any developments out here on scene, and we'll be sure to keep you updated. Reporting live in Northwest DC, Christian Flores, 7 News.
All right, Christian on the scene. Now let's check in with Rebecca Turco. She's outside MedStar Washington Hospital in Northwest. And Rebecca, we know both soldiers arrived there in critical condition. Do we have any update at this hour on how they're doing?
No updates as of yet. We have seen Guard members come and go here really for several hours now, offering up their support as they wait to learn more. National Guard members wait at MedStar Washington as 2 of their own remain in critical condition. The hospital is a level 1 trauma center, the highest trauma designation to treat complex injuries. A DC official tells me the suspect who was shot is being treated over at GW Hospital, another level 1 trauma center. For several hours, we saw police coming and going there, on watch and on standby, from MPD to Secret Service. The injured Guard members are from West Virginia. The governor there initially announced this afternoon that they had died, then doubled back 20 minutes later, saying he received conflicting reports. The state's attorney general says he is enraged by this violence. He says there's 160 service members working over the holiday on the president's ongoing mission.
We have a long history of men and women willing to stand up for our country and serve our country. And so what this perpetrator needs to understand is that he has attacked 2 of the bravest people in this country that come from the bravest state in this country.
And again, the last update we've received is that those Guard members are in critical condition tonight. As for the suspect singular rather, officials have said that they believe his injuries are not life-threatening. Live from the hospital, Rebecca Turco, 7 News.
All right, so now let's focus on the suspect, who he is and what's his background. The Associated Press and multiple networks identifying him as 29-year-old Ramanullah Lakanwal. The Department of Homeland Security saying he's an Afghan national who entered the U.S. back in September of 2021. They say he came to the States as part of a program called Operation Allies Welcome. Tom Rousey will explain a lot more on what that is coming up in just a minute. But new tonight, President Trump is calling for a reinvestigation of all Afghans who entered the country under that program.
Of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even operate such a.
The sources, police ran the fingerprints of the man in custody, and that is how they got his name. Indications are he lived in Washington State. We have a crew out of Seattle tracking down more information right now, and we'll bring you that as soon as we do learn more. All right, now let's get to Tom with a breakdown on what that program, Operation Allies Welcome, is. Tom.
And Scott, its description on the Department of Homeland Security website says archived content. That's because it was put into effect under the Biden administration back in 2021. It was started as U.S. troops withdrew from Afghanistan, and its goal was to help, quote, vulnerable Afghans settle in the U.S. Now, some of those Afghans had helped the U.S. military, but not all of them. You may remember a lot of people from Afghanistan came to our area through Dulles Airport at the time, and eventually the National Conference Center at Loudoun County temporarily housed many of the people from Afghanistan who came to this area. The Department of Homeland Security said at the time it was screening and vetting the Afghans before they came to the United States. However, as of tonight, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, they say that effective immediately, they will no longer process immigration requests from Afghans for an indefinite period of time. USCIS says before processing any more requests, it wants to review security and vetting protocols, Scott.
All right, a lot of quick reactions there, Tom. The shooting happening, of course, amidst crowds of people, and tonight we're hearing from more witnesses.
I was in the Uber, I heard boom, boom, twice. I was looking at my cell phone, and the Uber driver said, "Why are all these people running?" So then I looked out the window, and it was little children. They looked probably about 5 years old on both sides of the street running, and adults. And whoever was supervising the children said, "Go, run."
One National Guard was lying on his side. Then I looked at the other National Guard member that was down, and I saw compressions going on.
There was countless personnel around him, and they put him in a truck, and a minute later they were gone.
Now, earlier this evening, we spoke to a professor at George Washington University about the tone and temperature in D.C. when it comes to politics in the wake of this violent attack.
I think the temperature in the city itself, and I live here, I think it is more fraught, and it has been generally more fraught. You know, I see reports, for example, of ICE raids and National Guard troops on my campus, on the George Washington University campus. I think that there's a fear, especially among more vulnerable populations in Washington. I think if we step back as well, it's important to note that if this indeed was a targeted shooting, if it was an act of politically motivated violence, I think, it's another kind of terrible moment in just an ongoing series of moments, right?
We will continue to bring you any new developments in this newscast and on our website, WJLA.com. Just take out your phone. You can scan the QR code on your screen. That will take you to our homepage where our digital team is working hard to keep you up to date. Our coverage continues early tomorrow morning.
Tonight on ABC News Live Prime, 2 National Guards in Washington, D.C. The nation's capital, a gunman opening fire on 2 armed members of the National Guard just a block from the White House in what officials say was a targeted attack.
I'm Pierre Thomas with this on the investigation.
2 storm systems sweeping across the U.S. on one of the busiest travel days of the year. A massive Thanksgiving storm pounding the upper, turning highways into whiteouts at the height of the holiday travel rush, while rain and mountain snow gather in the Pacific Northwest to begin their trek across the country just in time for the post-Thanksgiving trip home.
Oh, continue to follow the breaking news out of D.C. 2 West Virginia National Guard members deployed here in the district shot
just blocks from the White House. Soldiers, a man and woman, are at MedStar Washington Hospital in critical condition. You're looking live right here. This is at GW University Hospital in Foggy Bottom, where that suspected shooter is now in custody. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Flanagan. The Associated Press reporting that the shooter is a 29-year-old Afghan national from Washington State. His injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. A shooting happening near Farragut Square around 2:15 this afternoon. Joining us live once again from Northwest D.C. is Yamari Sase. And Yamari, this is really a busy area. How are people reacting there?
Yeah, well, when we arrived on the scene, a lot of people were leaving work early, especially heading home for the holidays or had their traveling plans. So this entire street was extremely busy, and throughout the hours, people who were living in apartment buildings or going to businesses on this block weren't even able to get in. Some people had to walk all the way around. Other people weren't able to access it at all because the entire perimeter of Farragut Square Park has been blocked off due to the shootings. Many people expressing their condolences around this situation as well. Now, just to give you a rundown of what we know so far from the press conference earlier, which is the latest update that we received in regard to what took place here today. We do know that around 2:15 p.m., two National Guard members were patrolling the area right off of I Street and 17th Street here in Northwest. The suspect approached the two National Guard members and shot at them. Other National Guard members around the area heard what was happening, so they came over. They were able to get that suspect into custody with the help of assistance from other law enforcement. But MPD did confirm there was a back and forth, and the suspect was shot in this incident. Now, again, the suspect is in the hospital at this time. Those two National Guardsmen are also in the hospital.
What up, cuz?
Now, MPD did confirm that the National Guardsmen did have a firearm on them, as we've seen throughout the DC takeover as well. But we're going to continue to follow this story, but just take a listen to what the people had to say.
It's awful. I think it's awful. I think the man on 16 on
No. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me good?
Again, it's still extremely active around this area. There's a little less police than what we saw earlier, but
National Guard got shot.
And also the FBI and DC police are all on the scene right now. For now, reporting in Northwest, I'm Yamari Sase.
Tight.
Step into the.
You gotta catch them motherfuckers. Yes. We back in the building with another podcast vlog. This is RDP podcast vlog, and I'm your host, Han 5000. I hate saying the RDP shit sometimes. Raw Dope Podcast. We back in the building with another vlog. Hey, we tapping in. Y'all can hear me. What's up, cuzzo? What's happening? My cousin tapping in. Tyrone Peterson, 1970. What's good, man? What's good, man? Shout out to the mods in the building, man. When you see that blues, they gonna give you the blues, man. And I know like 12:45, between like 12, maybe 1:15 to like 1:45. That's the troll hour. And the trolls coming here and they gets to going crazy. They loses their mind. The trolls loses their mind. I'm gonna lose my mind tonight with them too. But hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, donate to the channel, run the numbers up, share this video. So not too far from the White House, two National Guards from Virginia was shot. It was people saying that their brothers was deceased, and it's people saying that they fighting for their life in a hospital in Bethesda. And if the hospital in Bethesda, I know that's a big. I know they got the best doctors, like goddamn shock trauma. So, and being as though they was in DC, there's no way they could get them to shock trauma. But you know, I think I just pray for those officers. You know what I'm saying? I don't, like I said earlier on my live earlier yesterday when we was talking, I was like, man, you know, people in the army, you know, certain people don't got nothing to do with the police department. So I don't know what this dude was. Did they ever say the dude name? Yeah, they ain't released his name yet, but I want to know what nationality he was. That's really important to me. What y'all think, bro? Bro just went and got busy. Bro just, I don't know why. He had to want to go to jail, bro. He had to give up on life, bro. You know what I mean? Girl must have had him going crazy. Shorty just gave up. Shorty just gave up, like straight up. I can't understand that. Like that was terrible. But everybody just said T-Pain and DJ Khaled got into it. I want to know what's up with that. I want to know what's up before we get into MEMO600. They said suspect is Afghan nation. This is new news. Damn, they saying I knew it. I already say ain't no American going up against no National Guard. You go up against the National Guard, you must know
None of
something.
them is your brother.
Come on, baby.
Nobody is your brother. Everybody's your brother while they can use you. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody is your brother while they can use you. Nobody is your brother. That is the quickest and the most consistent thing that I've learned through this whole thing.
You had to learn that the hard way.
Everybody, and you know what? It's only that say you my brother. That I'm telling, just like that.
Yeah, because you wouldn't allow somebody that didn't say that to get close to you.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
you
would. I'd rather you tell me what the business was and not have the brother aspect in there and just say, hey, look, here's what I want to do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a hook. I'm gonna put a verse on it, a bunch of money. We're gonna separate for a little bit, and I'm gonna come back when I need you again. Let's do it again. Blah, blah, blah. I'd rather know the plan than to say, you my brother, you my brother, you my brother.
No,
but brother, we always gonna be together. We ain't gonna never separate. Anytime you need me, I'm here for you. Anytime you need me, boom, boom, boom. But nah, bro, it's the brothers.
That's T-Pain talking about DJ Khaled, man. Do you think it's the start of a civil war? No, I don't think it's the start of a civil war. It's just always, America let so many people in the country. Somebody let me see a light. America let so many, it's hella lighters down here too. You know what I mean? America let so many people in the country that their family be out the country and they got a problem with them, bro. So people are always trying to commit some wild shit. You know what I mean? That's what I personally think. That's just my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and I just saw something say it was an Afghan person. You get what I'm saying? Those people who carry burdens. So I don't think that's why I said, bro, I wasn't no American that did that. Or at least if it was American, somebody born here in family overseas, like somebody had to hate to attack the National Guard, like they not your beef. Anybody with common sense from us in the trenches, in the gutter, we know if we see the army and the National Guard, they ain't really trying to hurt us. You know what I mean? It's the FBI, the DEA, you know what I mean? It's all them other motherfuckers that we know that's out to, to get in the ghetto and get what they got to get. But we know the National Guard and the army is to protect the people. It's a General Douglas MacArthur said, "Give me 10,000 Filipinos and I will conquer the world." You can Google it. I mean, hey, I don't think so. 10,000 Filipinos ain't even gonna be able to handle the United States, bro. These like, bro, come on, bro. 10,000 people. Yeah, boy, you might have said an army 100,000. Then I say, okay, 10,000 people, bro. The ghetto's gonna crush them boys. They come through here playing like that. Dudes in the hood can crush that Filipino army. You know what I mean? All the blocks getting together with their machinery ain't gonna crush the army. It ain't no joke. You can't come on the land and think you're gonna beat it. But anyway, I didn't think that person would be actually from, nowhere but out of the country. I'm honestly speaking. I wouldn't think that person would be from nowhere but out of the country. It's not out of the country. His bloodline is not the United States. You know what I'm saying? He's a radical or something like, because you attack the military person, bro. So that's not no street person. That's not no police brutality. That is, to me, my own personal opinions of act of terrorist. You know what I mean? And that's the truth.
Nobody is your brother. I've had DJ Khaled and everybody done told me I'm your brother. Do not believe that.
Lord have mercy, King.
That is the
man, you know you're gonna get me in trouble, man.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
I'm gonna get us in trouble.
All that, but I mean, but no, I mean, when I say like DJ Khaled, it's very apparent.
Yeah.
Like DJ Khaled knows how to move. He knows how to, do things with different people. But it's like, it's not a DJ Khaled type of thing. That's just the first person I can think of. But we're talking about so many people, because you got to think of how many people I've helped throughout their career.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is like, oh my God, thank you so much. You're my brother. And it's just so much of that back to back, back to back, back to back. You're my brother, you're my brother, you're my brother, you're my brother. And then none of that deprecated, none of that came back, none of that meant anything. When people tell you how much you mean to them, don't grab onto that. When people tell you how much they can mean to you in return, that's what you gravitate towards.
Yo, big ant.
Dang. T-Pain, he fell off. So, he made, I mean, I ain't gonna say T-Pain fell off. That's my little man, T-Pain, but he tripping. Them boys be getting into whatever they getting into, bro. They be sad tripping. I'm not gonna lie to you, they be sad tripping. You know what I mean? It's like, here it is. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, man. We trying to bust through the algorithm on this beautiful Thanksgiving morning. Fall those are celebrated, but it's just a beautiful morning. It's 12:41. Baltimore, just nice, cold air out there, good air, not the bad. It's just heavy, like I can't take it. It's good air. It was kind of nice outside earlier. You know what I mean? So MEMO600 speaks about his experience in Baltimore. Let's hear what he got to say.
So the feature for him?
Yeah. And Baltimore. Hold on. Stay on the phone. Hold on. I want y'all to stay on the phone. I want y'all to stay on the phone. What? You know what I was finna do. You know what I tried in Baltimore. I'm Vaughn. I'm finna call my homie right now. I'm finna tell y'all what I did. I faked the seizure. I did his verse. It was time for him to do his verse. He did his verse. Now it's time to pay me. I'm finna come on, Juan. I hope folks answer this phone. If my brother answer this phone, y'all gonna see what I do. I don't play, nigga. Fake the seizure. When it was time for him to pay his money, he faked the seizure. I got up about what? Everybody lay the down, nigga. Ain't nobody going nowhere till I get my money. On stand with you. Hey, Juan. Pause that. Pause that. Hey, Juan. Look. I'm doing an interview right now. They asked me a question. Listen to the question.
Say it on Cam Capone News.
Ask me the question again.
Has anybody ever tried to get out of paying you for a feature?
Yeah, all right, so check me out. I'm from Baltimore, you heard me? You're from the rack. Feel me? You had a basketball game going on, or whatever it was. Long story short, get to the point. Nigga tried to say he was having a seizure. Nigga say he was having a seizure. Yo, help him out. You feel me? Help us with the joint. Right there, help us with the young man. Make sure you're all right. He was faking. You hear me?
What I do?
Nigga with the money in that bitch. Hold up.
What I do, Juan? Hold on. Tell him what I did, Juan. Tell him what I did, Juan.
Let me talk. Man, hold up, bro. Take his chain off. Take his Cartier off. Man, pass me the mic, man. Pass me the mic. I ain't catch on.
What's up with my money? You see, when I say everybody live down there trying to get my money, they're gonna
stay down in that bitch. Listen, don't lie. I'm the only nigga stood tall in that bitch. Me on my own foot, nigga. And I had 30 on me.
Nigga, I said everybody live down. Ain't nobody going home trying to get my money, nigga, on Vaughn, nigga. Everybody finna die in this bitch.
Ain't nobody leaving this bitch until I get my fatty. Bro, and how I felt, bro, I broke the tears because I'm like, damn, everybody talking this money shit from Baltimore, be doing this shit, you feel me, representing doing all that. They make nigga look bad, you feel me? I was broke in that bitch, but they know what's for bad in there, bro.
Bro, I laid the whole studio down. Everybody laid down, nigga, on Steve. Somebody finna die till I get my money, nigga, on Steve. You what? I said, I got him some water and everything. I said, oh, man, wake up. Where my money at? On Steve, nigga, everybody, I'm finna die if I don't get my money, nigga, on Steve, nigga. I let my brother go. I said, well, I'm really trying to fake dead. Bro, I ain't even know, folks. He said, man, look, whoa. I said, oh, he real. Hey, on Steve. I said, you go ahead. You and your people go ahead. I laid everybody in that bitch down. Nigga, I had so many switches, Glocks, Drakes. If I don't get my money, everybody in this bitch, I had a shotgun with 4 barrels on that bitch, nigga, on Steve. My manager was so scared, he and that bitch like, I'll just give you the money. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. It ain't even about the money, it's the respect. Playing with me on Steve, nigga.
Straight up. And then let me tell him. Don't do this bitch ass shit, boy. Step body. Don't do this bitch ass shit. Try to do a little song, come up niggas fake, try to get live off the hot off of. Who is you? Oh, yeah. Then he from my city. They went back to their city. That's why I kept these niggas.
Steve, nigga, I laid. Hey, Juan, I love you. I'm gonna call you right back, man. That's all it is. I ain't want this shit to look rigged or none of that. On Steve, I just had to get. I'm gonna call you right back, brother. I'm gonna ccall you right back.
Hey, that was.
I don't play with all that internet shit. What up, man?
That was the
if I don't get my money, everybody in this bitch finna die, nigga. On Steve, nigga. What if my money at, nigga? On Steve, right? I see. Hey, Bees, you hear me? I don't play with. I don't play with. I ain't even know y'all was finna hit me with that question, nigga. On Steve, that was random. That was wrong, uncut. I don't play with niggas. If you don't got my money, nigga, we finna scrap in this bitch. Somebody gotta die. On Steve, back shop. What's the nigga name? Well, I don't play that shit, nigga. Somebody finna die in this bitch if I don't get my money, nigga. And I don't even play that murder, kill, get. This is my family. I got kids. I got 11 kids I have to feed, man. You playing me, I like you got what? Man, look, all right, next question on Steve.
Break. How did they eventually pay you? Like, how like, what happened to let them pay you?
He didn't leave. He man, my people finna pull up. He kept having people pull up with different money. They had to pay me, like his uncle, his people, his homies. I had to go to the door, collect that money, see how much it is till it get to what he owed me on Steve. Nigga, I don't play that shit, nigga. I came with was scared as hell. They like, MEMO finna kill all of us in here. On Steve, nigga, I want my money. I don't play that shit on Steve, nigga. What?
Damn.
On Steve, I don't. Man. Hey, Bees, you hear me, Bees? That's real uncut.
I listen.
That's real uncut. No camera, no rehearsal, none of that shit, nigga. What?
Hey, that was a confirmed story.
That's a stamp artist I know about. I'm from the city.
He from Baltimore, and he didn't even know about that situation. I ain't even tell him about that.
Official shit. Okay.
I don't play. The nigga in there, yeah, I got features with Boosie. I'm like, all right, he got the little money to pay me there. You paying that bread? He in that bitch like this. He act like he had a season. I said, I tap him. I said, good. What? All right, you got my money, right? I mean, look, bro, wake the fuck up. If I don't get my money, somebody finna. I couldn't say I deleted it off the computer. All that. I know is there. Bring that shit back up. There, go to the recycle bin and man, all that. Somebody finna die if I don't get my money on Steve, nigga. What? I don't. That was confirmed. I didn't even own my sister. You know, my hands and knees. I didn't know y'all was finna ask me that question, man. On Steve, and that was a real loud witness that was there. He my bitch in the hospital. She died. Woo. He like, I got woo for you. Woo. On my sister. I said, keep your money, gang. You a real, and you was finna pay to help this get out of death. But I need this nigga to pay my money, nigga, on Steel. He finna die in this bitch. On Steel, I don't play, B. You hear me? I'm cool. I'm all the internet trolling. Whatever y'all say, nigga. When it come to that bread, nigga, I don't play on Steel, nigga. It was gonna get swept about. I had a shotgun with 4 barrels on that bitch. I had a micro Drake. I had switch, all type of shit, nigga, on Steve. I don't play that shit. We drove And my people's licensed to carry. Some of them flew with their guns. They flew with micro Drakes, all type of shit. Glocks. What? We in this bitch over secure. My alibi good.
So that's MEMO600. Apparently he was in Baltimore. He did a feature with an artist from Baltimore, and you know, y'all heard it coming from his mouth. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he dissed Baltimore at all. You know what I'm saying? He ain't diss Baltimore. You know, business is business, and what's between two men is between two men. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. You know, he telling the story. He called up. He is a dude right there from Baltimore, right there with him. Then there's a dude on the phone from Baltimore, and you know what I mean. They vouch. You know, well, the dude right there, they don't even know about it, but the dude on the phone saying he was there and he vouching for it. Number uno, I'm from Baltimore. You know, we don't play with nobody money. You get what I'm saying? And you can be from Baltimore, Virginia, goddamn Newark, New Jersey, goddamn Hawaii. You know what I mean? When a man give his word on something, the man pulls the honor that. If I come and rap and do a rap show and I want anything that I do and we agree to a price and I don't get the price, you know what I'm saying? Things can go left, I don't. It don't matter if the man got 11 kids, the man don't got no kids. We made a deal. You should honor that deal. And in an event of us doing this deal, you should forfeit your part of that deal or play any type of games with that part of the deal. Just the outcome of it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really take it as no diss to the city. I don't take it as no diss to the city at all. I think that was between him and the artist that he was doing. And the artist, you know what I mean? And me is okay. You know, I don't have no problem with the artist. That's why I'm not running around, doing no name dropping. But at the end of the day, business is business. You know what I'm saying? If you do some wild business shit or some fucked up shit, you leave room for shit like this to hit the internet. And it definitely hit the internet, and it definitely gonna catch wildfire by the morning. Everybody in the city gonna be talking about it. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And the artist is locked up. Free him, man, by the way. You get what I'm saying? Y'all heard it. And that's what I do. I break shit down to get my own opinion. If that's what happened, because I wasn't there, but it's dude saying that's what happened, it shouldn't have happened like that. After the person do their job, you pay them and you go on. Anything in between of that could cause a bunch. As you can see and as you can hear, problems occurred. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't the way, me, myself, and a lot of Baltimoreans handle business. But like I say, dudes play games everywhere. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what happened with the money situation. It might not, I don't know. You know what I mean? But he got his side of the story. When bro come home, you know what I'm saying? Bro tell his side of the story, even if he want to entertain it. But it's out there in the open. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, man. Leave a comment. Where the trolls at? I don't see the trolls in here tonight, but that's what it is, man. He speaks on his experience from Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Don't worry about it. I'll pay it. I said, man, if you don't get your bitch ass on, nigga, get my money on Steve, nigga. You ain't gotta pay shit, nigga, on Steve.
Like, man, that's just business. You know what I'm saying?
Like, come on. I felt like you thought I was goofy. You trying me. Like, you might as well win in my pockets on this thing. Like, come on. I got 11 kids, gang. I got to feed. I got to make it back home, too. You see what Juan said? Juan said, no, I ain't going to lie. Tell him about it. What Juan say? Tell him about the street sweeper. On Lusty, I up that bitch. It was 4 holes in that bitch. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Get my money or you finna die in this bitch on Steve. What?
What's up? This is Cam.
Dang. Yeah, you talking about, bro. Dang. That's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy, ain't it, bro? How you feel about that, bro? You know what I'm saying? I know the artist, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's bad for business. That's not good. Like, you should never handle business that way. Yeah, bro, faking a seizure to get the money. That's some crazy shit. I wouldn't even put Baltimoreans up on doing no shit like that. That's like them. That boy. That's some sneaky shit. Damn, it's another fight. Let's see this.
From police, Vincent, unbelievable.
This is
very unbelievable, Kai. And it's hard to tell what's going on in that video, but one man, a would-be shoplifter, the other, a fed-up citizen. Inside the Royal Farms at Monroe in Washington.
I knew that Royal Farms a problem.
Captured on cell phone video. Look here as two men struggle behind the counter.
I honestly think it's so many innocent people in there.
One woman is almost knocked over. The fight then ends up outside, where one man is seen punching and kicking the other.
It says the individual, number one male, it says he took a whole bunch of cigarettes.
Baltimore police responding to a robbery, later calling it a larceny. They say all over a few packs of cigarettes.
The part about it, like, there's so much rules when you're working when it comes to people stealing merchandise.
Look here as the suspect is seen with what appears to be a couple of packs in his hand. The other man,
You really don't know who's in the right or wrong. Everybody's trying to do the right thing.
a bystander inside the store, trying to stop the would-be shoplifter.
I honestly do think they're getting out of control and people need to stop.
While it's not clear if BPD is aware of the assault on the suspect, this resident has her opinion after watching the video.
What do you think should happen to the guy that assaulted the guy that was stealing?
Honestly, nothing. He was doing the right thing. That's my opinion.
She points to an ongoing problem with shoplifting that she says has led citizens to being fed up and taking matters into their own hands.
Employees can't really do nothing but don't leave the store.
Dudes be getting mad, bro. Brew got all the way of that cigarette. Dude be mad, bro.
He was helping the people
Yeah,
that were
bro.
working. The people that were working, they couldn't really do too much.
And when it comes to this would-be shoplifter,
Shouldn't have done it in the first place. I mean, you could have asked someone on the street. You would have got one easier off the street than having to steal from the store.
police say somehow he was able to get away and no arrests have been made.
So it could have been so many things in one moment.
Dang.
Crazy video there. Now, police tell me this is an ongoing investigation. Right now, no word on if there's any assault charges against that fed-up citizen. In Baltimore, Vincent Hill, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened to him, bro. Bro went crazy, bro. Bro went crazy, bro. Bro went crazy. I ain't lying, bro. If I can hear that shit in the mic. They saying the real reason the casino ain't really caring about that casino shit no more. Casino shit, that casino shit different. That's what I want to get to with that suspect in that.
Okay, let's continue tracking the latest. As I showed you, Brooke Taylor of Fox News saying sources are telling her, law enforcement sources telling her, that the shooter in D.C. is an illegal migrant from Afghanistan who came in during Operation Allies Welcome under the Biden administration and then overstayed that visa. This is some of the first details we're hearing about this suspect. Retired Marine Intelligence Officer, National Security Analyst, and host of the Strap podcast, Hal Kemper, is here with me. Hal, when you hear some of Brooke's reporting, what can we glean from this at this hour?
Well, what we can glean from that is that when the White House and the president kind of indicated that it might be terrorism, this definitely has the hallmarks of terrorism. I mean, if he is, as it's reported, an Afghan national overstayed his visa. Well, that kind of indicates that there was probably a political objective in what he was doing. It was definitely everything we've heard is that these two soldiers and National Guard soldiers in general were being deliberately targeted. And this, when you start connecting the dots, it's tough to escape that this was not, more likely than not, I should say, an act of terrorism. And now it's not big, it's not 9/11 style or scope, but it is still an act of terrorism. What he did, and we'll find out more about his motives. There could have been some mental illness issues, or could have been other things involved. That doesn't necessarily negate the that this was a terrorist act, but definitely this definitely ups the I should say the immigration enforcement challenge. We've seen some protests, we've seen some violent protests, but now what we're seeing is a direct targeting. With deadly. Well, the intent certainly was deadly force, and so that changes the threat picture. That changes the risk that everyone involved, not just National Guard, but certainly everyone involved in federal law enforcement, dealing with immigration enforcement, is going to be looking at, and they'll probably change their security posture going forward.
Hell
Get
yeah.
a quick oil change at Jiffy Lube.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, I figure it was somebody crazy. You know what I'm saying? I figure it was somebody from another planet. You know what I mean? I don't know. I figured that it was it was bananas, bro. The Afghanistan boy went up there, man, and played games, man. He gonna get the death penalty. He'll never see the mountains of Afghanistan again, man. You know what I mean? I wasn't laughing. I'm just saying, damn, bro. Like, what was you going through to make you think that you can take on the United States? You know what I mean? What was you doing that you thought that you could take on that, bro? And to be in the prisons out here. You gonna be in the prisons out here, bro. And bro, they gonna crush you. They probably like them boys back then. That sound when you in the hospital, bro. You know what I mean? If your wounds is anything like life threatening, they probably pull the plug on you. You definitely don't got the hospital and nobody trying to see you in good health. Believe that. You know what I mean? Believe that. And when he go to jail, don't nobody care what he did. But it's just like, bro, they gonna play with your mail. They gonna play with everything that you got going on. You like you just killed your. I don't know. Like when you do shit like that, it's like, bro, you know like the consequences of this. Like it's no getting back from that. Like you got to be fucking crazy. You got to be insane, bro. You got to be insane, bro. And that's just the harsh reality of it. You got to be insane, bro, to go do that. I'm gonna keep saying that. Like I when I heard that shit, I'm like, what? Like that don't even make no sense. Dudes in DC don't even want that. I'm glad that it just was isolated. You know what I mean? They don't gotta run in the ghetto, but as long as that man in office, bro, he's gonna be hard on getting people out of this country because of shit like that. You know, he just made it worse. You know what I mean? He just gave ICE a battery. You know what I mean? He just gave ICE a battery, real shit. He just gave ICE a battery. You know what I mean? Legal immigrant that was here under the Biden administration, overdid his visa, and then he go out here and shooting the two National Guards. They fighting for their life. Man, you know what I mean? That makes that foreign policy or whatever that shit called, like that makes that shit deeper. That shit gives a boost in everything. Cause they saying, look what happens when these people are here illegally. This is the type of shit that happen. So you know that one amongst a lot of rotten apples is messing it up for people that's really here working, minding their business, trying to live the American dream. Then you got these idiots that's in here doing the dumb shit that's fucking it up for y'all. And I feel bad. You know what I mean? Because it's a fact that one rotten apple can spoil a bunch. And with the people that's in the head in charge, they ain't trying to hear that shit. So that's stupid. That's stupid that man went and did that. I can't believe it.
Basically, it's a West Virginia to Washington D.C. Support, and it was done through the governor of West Virginia with the mayor of Washington D.C. Albeit the government of Washington D.C. is actually under Congress, and the president, in many ways, actually fills the role of the governor since Washington D.C. is a federal district. And that's actually one of the things the courts have been kind of grappling with too, is the legal status of these National Guard troops from other states coming to Washington D.C.
So let's again take a look at Brooke's tweet here. She says, came in during Operation Allies Welcome. Operation Allies Welcome, Hal. Can you expand on what Brooke is alluding to there?
Well, this is, we, as you recall, we pulled out of Afghanistan, and we brought a lot of Afghans back that have been working with us. So there's a lot of questions as to what was the reason why this individual was brought under Allied Welcome? What was the justification? They're going to be looking at that. They're going to be looking if there was a family situation where there are others involved. What was he doing? And it's my understanding he is male. What was he doing with us over there specifically? And they'll be asking all these questions. We may find out that it could be a lot of different things. Could be that he was possibly trained with the Afghan national government. Could have been a lot of different things that would indicate. And frankly, tragically, based on what we saw today, he does seem to know his way around a firearm. So we're going to find out more about what was going on there, and we may find out also what his status was, whether he was actively being sought by ICE. Were they trying to deport him back to Afghanistan? Was he fearful for his life that if he went back to Afghanistan that the Taliban would get hold of him and harm him or harm his family or something like that? We're going to find out all these things, and right now that's all big unknown. That's all supposition. We just don't know much. We just have that one report, which is certainly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: he's facing the death penalty here.
But probably opens up more questions than it actually answers in many ways.
So Hal, you and I have had countless conversations about the deployment of the National Guard in D.C. In general, and time will tell exactly what these troops were doing at the time of the attack. In general, though, what have these Guard members been tasked with doing while they've been in the nation's capital?
Well, it's interesting. In Washington, D.C., it's a little bit different than some of the other locations. They actually have been part of a crime deterrence program. So if this was, as it's kind of implied based on the status of this individual, something where he was striking out against immigration enforcement because of his immigration status, which is that's an inference. It may not be the case. But in Washington, D.C., they were actually out there patrolling as a deterrent to crime. And reports are that they had some success in doing that. And actually, some of the things they were doing were kind of, it didn't need that. Probably that's the question that federal judge had, was do you really need the National Guard to do this? But they were picking up trash, cleaning up the area, moving homeless people out of certain areas, basically making the city look more welcoming to visitors, and trying to create an atmosphere of safety and security throughout the city.
Man, makes sense.
What the National Guard's mission was, and outside the near the White House, which this was reported to be near the White House, I don't think they were actively engaged in any operations with ICE for immigration enforcement.
Yeah, I don't either.
Actually, I think they were there more of a military presence for safety and security. And what's kind of interesting is my understanding with the West Virginia National Guard, there was about 300 to 400 that were deployed.
My general ain't say that, boy. I don't have no general. Hey, this shit vicious. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop the like, leave a comment. We got Candy Cane in the building. Candy Cane.
Okay.
Candy Cane. Candy Cane, what you putting on the menu tomorrow?
Whole lot of good food.
Like what? Give her the mic. Give her the mic, Neff.
Mac and cheese.
Hey, hold up. They want to know. The people on the thing want to know. Here, speaking of mic. Speaking of mic. What you cooking tomorrow?
You have some fresh greens and some mac and cheese, some turkey wings, some crunchy fried chicken, and some dirty rice, cause my man like dirty rice. And I don't know, a strawberry crunch cake and whatever else I decide. You know, some potato salad. You know what's going on. Whole lot of good food. Y'all enjoy your day.
It's actually morning, and daylight will be in a couple hours. So for everybody that's cooking, shout out to y'all. You know what I mean? Crunchy chicken. What's crunchy chicken? I never heard of that before. Anybody heard of crunchy chicken? You heard of crunchy chicken, Spaz? It sounds like it's good. Sound like it's good. They keep saying that Future betrayed the guy. Spaz, he don't like that. What y'all think? They saying scooter situation and casino situation, and they just trying to throw Future under the bus. What y'all think? What y'all think in the chat right now? What y'all truly think in the chat? I don't. So why would Future have to set his brother and his homeboy up? Like, I don't get it. But these vlogs are going crazy. These vlogs are going crazy. I promise you they are. And they're just saying stuff. I don't think that he's that. Man, they putting on me back on the vlogs. Finesse 2-time honeycomb breezy. Oh man, T-Pain said what he said about Khaled. And this is what I do want to know. The boy David. If y'all don't know who David is, he's a singer from Texas that a girl got found in his Tesla in California. That's the best way. He sings like depression music. And I don't know, like these kids are really demonic.
There is a grand jury that has convened in the case involving the death of Celeste Rivas. And this is a really interesting twist. And underlying it all is what I believe is a war between the LAPD and the LA County Medical Examiner. So here's what happened. The LA Times got hold of a
Spaz spilled
petition
red juice
that
on
the
my shirt.
LAPD filed asking to
Spaz
block
gonna be
the
taking that
medical
motherfucker with him.
examiner from releasing any information about the death of Celeste Rivas. This is highly unusual. And as a matter of fact, the LAPD tried this back in September, and the judge in that case said there's no basis for doing that the LAPD didn't make a case. Well, they went back again, apparently a few days ago, and they asked again, seal all the information that the medical examiner has, and that judge did it. And the medical examiner was pissed and came out with a statement saying it's highly unusual.
You wash your whole body every day, so why don't you wash your whole...
So this that boy David, the medical examiner and autopsy people going to war. That K-Dub got that bad Spaz spit it. You know what I mean? Let me get faded with y'all. Let me get faded with y'all. I'm getting faded. Hold up. Let me get in this right now. Getting faded. Oh, Prince on live tonight? Huh? Prince on Bigo? Nah, actually. But I get on it tonight. It's just the hold up, Harvey. I'm trying to get this shit set up. Let's get back to David.
And help the LAPD get information. Because think about it.
the LAPD calls somebody and says, we want to talk to you, they say no. But if the grand jury subpoenas them, they have to come and they have to testify. So that's why law enforcement uses these grand juries. So this is an investigative grand jury. It met for a couple of days. We don't know if it's still in force. My guess would be it probably is, because the LAPD is looking at this, trying to get information. And a lot of people, when LAPD calls, says, we don't want to talk, but they have to if it's a grand jury. So this gets back to David. We told you that David, even though nothing is formal, the LAPD is doing him as a suspect in a homicide. They believe it's a homicide, even though the medical examiner hasn't yet said that, and we're told they may never be able to because of the condition of her body. We also, you may know, reported a story over the weekend that we have been told by sources that her body was partially frozen. The captain of the LAPD came out and said that's not true.
Yeah, because she in LA. Her body in LA, how's it gonna be frozen?
And they tripled, quadrupled, sextupled down and said it was partially frozen. Interesting that her fingers were so waterlogged they couldn't get a fingerprint off of it. This is direct from the medical examiner's documents. It says that they couldn't get that fingerprint because of waterlogged fingers. So that is the current state of this case. To summarize, the LAPD is clearly in the throes of an investigation. They're using the grand jury to get witnesses, presumably, to talk that they otherwise could not get to speak to them. David, we're told, is a suspect. We're told there is a second suspect that has something to do with the dismemberment of Celeste's body. There is a huge conflict between the medical examiner and the LAPD. Lauren Conlon from LA Magazine would also like to chime in, but before she does, would you like to subscribe?
I want to echo a couple things that Harvey said here. First and foremost, I have said from the start, it seems like LAPD and the medical examiner's office are completely at odds here. And I spoke to a forensic death investigator the other day, Joseph Scott Morgan, about the possibility of Celeste's body being frozen at one point, not being frozen upon discovery, but at one point. Now, what he said was a medical examiner would be able to tell based on doing tests with the tissue. So they would be able to see if the body had thawed, had unthawed through microscopic cellular tissue. I mean, his words, not mine. But when TMZ got this leak from a source close to the medical examiner's office,
right,
my understanding was that testing had been done. It had been done to the point that the LAPD deemed this a homicide or a murder investigation, although they haven't come right out and said this. This was reported by the LA Times based on the petition they obtained by the LAPD blocking the medical examiner from releasing the death records. They saw this information that they're treating this like a homicide. So again, in my opinion, that came from the medical examiner's findings that they don't want out there. They do not want people like us speculating what possibly could have happened to Celeste and who was involved, because they don't want to, I guess, hinder their investigation. Although, I mean, at this point, there's tons of speculation, but I do believe that the theory of her body being frozen at one point is correct based on that. Now, just piggybacking off of this, on that petition to block the records from being released, the LA Times said they saw a grand jury number, which sort of got them thinking, okay.
So basically, the boy David, if y'all don't know, the boy David is a singer from Houston, Texas. He sing like weird type music, and a girl was found in his trunk, in his Tesla truck, and that was like in September. She been missing since like April or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And the boy David has just been ruled a suspect in the case. So y'all can look it up. David spelled D4VD. Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. I'm on Instagram too. We not lit on Instagram, but we in here. But that's what's going on right now. David, he's a suspect. And I say this, one thing about it, that boy ain't gonna be able to handle it on a tail. If David gets locked up for this crime, David go to California rough. Good God Almighty. California rough. Hey, if he better start practicing, he better start doing push-ups and motherfucking burpees. Cause I'm saying when he hit that yard, he hit that penitentiary yard, man. If he get convicted of this, it's gonna be rough. That type of crime. And I think she was like a Mexican or something. True. They chopped Tory legs up in a California jail. David go in that California jail. He from Texas, living the California dream. The shit that got me is, why the fuck would you put a dead body in the trunk of a car in your name? Bruh, like, why? Like, yo, it's no way on the good Lord's earth that you thought you was going to get away with a body in the trunk. He like 20 years old. Gotta be a fucking idiot. Like, it's no fucking way. Like, I'm about to do like raw dope true crime stories because I got some of these crimes. I gotta tell y'all about these crimes, bro. These nigga, yo, bro. Let me break something down to y'all. If you in the ghetto and you hustling, you catch a body, you catch a robbery, you know what I'm saying? You catch a case. Go on the joint, you do your thing. You know what I mean? You know, man, I'm gonna see daylight again. Bruh, you start doing heinous crimes that you know good and goddamn well you going behind that door for the rest of your life. Ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no cocaine, no heroin, no liquor, no Molly, no ecstasy, no marijuana, no Percocet, no Suboxone, no Tramadol, no Adderall, no Seroquel. None of that shit gonna stop that elbow, bro. You can't numb yourself, bro. Ain't no motherfucking drug in the world gonna have me put a body in a car in my name, bro. We ain't doing no motherfucking crime in the car in my name, bro. You fucking crazy? That's like son. That's like going in front of the judge and say you killed the man. Literally, that's like going in front of the judge and saying I killed the man, young, because I wanted to. What the fuck, nigga? You gonna get life in prison? You gonna get life in prison? Who the fuck wants to do life in prison? Man, this motherfucking kid get a body in his trunk of a 15-year-old girl, by the way. I think she was 13 or 14 years old. The little girl did this singer. He's a singer selling a bunch of records out in California from Houston. His name's David. This case been hot on the internet for months now. They just formally made him a suspect. And then in the next weeks to come, the months, because the body's been, the girl been missing since like March. They found the body in September. So since she been missing in March and they found the body in September, the coroner got to do this. And LAPD and the coroner not getting along. They don't like each other for some reason. So they playing with this. This girl's a runaway. This girl was under 15 years old. David's 20 years old. This girl was last seen leaving the house, running up the street, and got in the car and disappeared. Was found in his Tesla. Her body decomposed. You know, a person been dead for months and body all in the trunk. It's all decomposed. The coroner, the coroner saying they can't get nothing done. The LAPD saying there's so much going on. But one thing they got is that body was found in David car in his name in the impound lot. I said, shorty, Is you crazy? At first, when it first happened to him, when it first happened to David, they were saying, this he could have been framed, all the right things, because that's what everybody think. You with common sense, you think to yourself, ain't no way that David is going to have a body in his trunk. So somebody set him up. He's a singer. He's always on the go. He was on tour. They try to, X him out. Man, you know what happens when you got them detectives that's working? The detectives is working and they proving beyond a reasonable doubt that David was on some shit. You know what I mean? Probably some sweet potato pies. So that's what happened, and David going to prison. Cheesecake. David going to prison. David gonna have to learn how to make a knife, learn how to fight. He 20 years old, so he can handle it. You know what I mean? Doing dumb shit like that. Putting a girl body in your motherfucking trunk for months is just like crazy work to me. You know what I'm saying? Putting the body in the trunk is like, man, what the fuck is David thinking? You know what I mean? So I mean, that's somebody's daughter, under 15 years old, runaway girl. You know what I'm saying? A runaway girl in your trunk, bro. Like that's hard. That's a hard motherfucker to explain. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even want to be around you. You know what I mean? I'd have been in all types of shit. But I ain't been in none of that shit the chicken pee in. And I ain't been in none of that shit it's David in. And I ain't been in none of that shit the Dirt been in. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you. I ain't been in none of the above. None of that shit, bro. Like, cause some of that shit don't make sense. In Chicken P situation, he just dropped something that said that he proven his innocence. So I believe that Chicken P, it could be a lie. He's a big rapper. He's making money. So women lie. There's a lot of men that's locked up, and there's a lot of men. What up, broski? There's a lot of men that's locked up, and a lot of men that's been falsely accused of the worstest crime that you can be accused of. You know what I'm saying? And dudes went through some things because of that and had to prove their innocence. But for dudes that's getting caught up in that and really doing that, you got something wrong with you. For dudes that ain't doing that and women lying on them, I believe they should get the time to demand what a got if he did that. Man, say Eminem or Tupac. Tupac, bro. Tupac. I don't know. The parents are immigrants, I guess, you know what I mean? And the girl was out of order. You feel me? The girl was out of order. Probably what the little girls, mother wanted to be a whole girl. You know what I mean? You know how that shit go. Mother want to be their home girl, don't want to get disciplined. You know what I mean? Tupac way better than Eminem, bro. If you ever had to pick Tupac or Eminem, everybody's gonna pick Tupac. Nobody's gonna pick Eminem but the white boys. You know what I mean? My Eminem on my wall. You know what I'm saying? On my hip hop wall. Because Eminem was a great MC, but he couldn't do nothing with Tupac. Nothing. If you put a Tupac tape on the table, an Eminem tape, I'm picking the Tupac tape every time. I'm picking the Tupac tape. I don't even know one artist I like that I'll pick Eminem over. I pick Eminem over probably the Beastie Boys or something like that. To me, Eminem is a hell of a rapper. He nice as a motherfucker, and he'd jump in some nigga shit. But all the rappers that I like, I grew up on. Eminem can't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Eminem can't fuck with Jay-Z. Eminem can't fuck with Nas. Can't fuck with Tupac. He can't fuck with T.I. Straight up. He can't fuck with Scarface. Jadakiss. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Niggas the fuck that I fuck with. You know what I mean? He can't mess with. He can't mess with, you know, it's a lot of rappers out here, but Eminem's nice. You know, if you ask me, he's in the top 100 greatest rappers of all time. It's in the top 100. Can't take nothing from him. You know, I would even consider Eminem being in the top 50. I ain't even gonna play with you. I ain't even gonna sit here and disrespect hip hop like that. Eminem is in the top 50 rappers of all time, but he's not in the top 10. He's not in the top 20. You know what I mean? He's not in the top 20. Man, give you top 5 rappers. Man, I can't give you top 5 rappers. You know, hip hop been here 52 years, man. 52, 53 years. There's a lot of artists came out. You know what I'm saying? Spotify upload millions of songs every day. So, you know, top 5 rappers, you know what I mean? It's hard to pick a top 5 because you're gonna leave somebody out. But I guess that's why you called it the top 5, because somebody gotta be left out. So I feel like I don't have a top 5. I maybe give you 10, but I can't give you just like a top 5. You know what I mean? Because yo, like I like DJ verses better than I like Hubert verses. Cause DJ can cut some records. Every artist, every great artist had their time and they peak. You know what I'm saying? So some of the greatest artists that we know are great for certain reasons. So a top 5, for me picking the top 5, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. You know what I mean? It's hard to do, bro. It's like hard to do, but I will honestly say, like, you know, the best people to ever like, man, it's so many people, bro. It's like so many greats. But you know, like in my time, of course, it's Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. You know, ultimately, like, ain't no denying that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's, you know, and when and I mean, and even when you don't, you gotta say leave Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Ice Cube. You know what I mean? It's just like you gotta exclude some names. You do, really. And if you like a real hip hop person and really listen to hip hop music, you have to exclude some names. So it's like it'd be hard to do that shit because you know what I mean? Ice Cube was out before Pac and Big, Jay-Z. Kane was out before Pac, Big, and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It's artists that was out before the greats. Plenty of artists that was out before the greats. So for the greats that we know of the 90s. So it's like, man, that's why I respect the top 50. You know what I'm saying? I respect the top 50, the top 100, because it's like you don't want to leave no names out. If you can get in that top 100, if you can get in the top 50 of all times, you're great. No matter what number you have. You could be 50 or number 1. But if you in that top 50, you know what I mean? You great. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would say. You great. Cause it's like if you name your top 5, then there's another 5 that could be probably dominate that 5. Especially if you leave Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas out of it. You got Raekwon, you got Ghost, you got Mace, you got DMX, you got Jadakiss. You get what I'm saying? You got Scarface, you got Ice Cube, you got Kendrick Lamar. You get what I'm saying? You got spitters, man. You got Snoop, his legacy. You get what I'm saying? You got T.I. who could really spit. You got artists like J. Cole. You get what I'm saying? Cool G Rap. You get what I'm saying? You know, Big L, you get what I'm saying? You got artists, you know, Eminem, Proof. You know what I mean? You got artists, bro. You got a lot of hip hop artists that you could be like, boom, he burnt him on this, he burnt them. And the reason why that I could sit up here and name the names is, you know, the reason, yeah, donate to the channel. I could give a birthday shout out. You know what I mean? Share the video. So when it comes to artists, it just, you know, that it's just so many artists, great artists that you don't wanna leave no artists out. And that's my thing. I don't want to leave no artists out. So it's like, you know, you got your Bigs, your Jay-Z's, your Nas. You got so many good artists, bro. So it's like a top 50. I can't give a top 5, my honest opinion. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, DMX, Styles, Tupac, yeah, Scarface, Biggie. Yeah, that's a good 5, cuz. That's a damn good 5. You know what I mean? That 5 good. But that 5, you know what I mean? That 5, you know, dudes, you know, you left Nas out. You get what I'm saying? You left Ghost out. You know, it's like you left Prodigy out. You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on. I think Fabulous makes the top 50. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, I want to do a trivia, like pick top 50 artists. You know what I mean? And then as people pick the artists, scratch them off where the next person you walk down on can't pick that artist. The artist already been picked. You know what I'm saying? So you may pick. Can I get another like in there? Can we add 10 likes to the pot on YouTube? It's a little dry. I guess everybody cooking and laughing and kicking it with family, but it's what I'm about to do. Yeah, you know what I mean. Best wishes. Best wishes. Best wishes. Season greeting. Best wishes to everybody. Everybody that's having a birthday. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday. Season's greetings to everybody. That's whatever sign this season is. Congratulations. Happy birthday to everybody. Real talk. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We all broke. You know what I mean? But we gonna get back. So hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Y'all want to tap in on YouTube. You know what I mean? Drop a like, leave a comment, man. But like I said, man, MEMO600 spoke out about his experience in Baltimore with a Baltimore artist. National Guard soldier shot in a tragic attack in DC. Yeah, man, that's the news I was talking about. We got into a little hip hop talk. I'm gonna get back into my hip hop bag soon. Hip hop bag coming soon. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. We in here. You know what I mean? But hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, man. I'll be tapping back in about 10 in the morning, man. I'm gonna keep this content rolling, man. It's the end of the year. I gotta push it to the limit. My co-defendants passed. Everybody tapped out. Everybody be tired with me, man. I'm gonna go up here, probably rolling up, blunt up, watch some podcasting. My night in about 4 a.m.